Hey guys, welcome back to my channel where I share my little tools, tips, and tricks with you to help you make your dreams become a reality. My name is Rebecca, and today's topic is how to be self-sufficient. So first of all, why do I think that topic is important? I think that topic is really important because for a very long time I didn't even notice that I wasn't self-sufficient and that I was very externally referenced, that I needed the confirmation of other people to actually believe that whatever I wanted was actually possible and that I was capable of achieving them. Even though there was a part of me that was like, yeah, we can totally do it. I would only really believe it if my friends, my family, or even people I didn't really know that well would actually encourage me and be like, oh yeah, like you can totally do this. And then I would believe it. And that's where I noticed that I was not self-sufficient and was very externally referenced. And yeah, so what did I do? Well, I did several things. So first of all, I started working on my self-esteem and my self-confidence, just like I shared in one of the previous videos. And then I really took stock about my beliefs and values. And one of the main things was that whenever that fear voice, that voice of doubt came in, like, can you really do it? I would actually just be like, stop. No, I can actually do it. And I would be kind of like my own cheerleader in a way. And I would start with small things, but I would step by step prove myself that I'm capable of achieving the things I want to achieve. And it started out by doing small things like learning I don't know, for example, learning a turn while figure skating with YouTube, or going for a run without breaks, or just trying to cook something that I've never cooked before, or baked something that I've never baked before. Small things where I could notice that I could increase my confidence and my self-esteem and also my belief in myself, and that I can take my own word and trust that I'm going to do the things and follow through. So sometimes even small steps were helping. And I noticed that I didn't always get to the point where I was like, okay, I really want to achieve this dream. Sometimes when I worked on things, I got to the point where I was like, okay, actually, I noticed that this thing is not my passion as much as I thought. It's not fulfilling me as much as I thought. Or that I noticed I lost passion while trying to achieve a new level and get to a state where I would perform better in that specific area. So when I got to these points, I actually allowed myself to just sit down with my notebook and really reflect on whether I wanted to continue that or shift it to a different aspect, because sometimes dreams change, sometimes priorities change, and what I feel is very important is to actually know that that's okay, that that's normal, and to really be kind and honest with yourself and to allow yourself to change. And another thing to be self-sufficient is to stop putting other people's worth above your own, or words more than worth and words. So for example, when other people say, and that's something I did as a child a lot, when other people said, no, oh my God, you can't do that. Like, I don't know, you can't learn a backflip from the playground, or you can't go there, or you can't climb up that tree. I would actually do it. I would be like, you watch me. And I did that a lot when people were trying to talk me down, and I would take that as an inspiration to actually go further. But then I noticed that the other way around, it wasn't like that. That I didn't try to prove myself that I can actually do something, and that it was more that if I thought, oh my God, you cannot never do that, that I didn't try unless I got the confirmation from outside. And so step by step, I forced myself to try in those moments and to really stop and be like, okay, wait, does it make sense? Or is this just fear? Because fear is designed to keep us safe. And of course, it's good to be afraid of certain things. I mean, I wouldn't want to, for example, jump into a pool full of hungry sharks while it's feeding time, with blood all in the water, just because I want to get rid of a fear of swimming with sharks, for example. That wouldn't be the most intelligent thing, or just like run up to any dog because you want to get over your fear of dogs. It can work, and the probability that it works is very high, but you may also run up to the wrong dog and actually like prove your fear to be right. So it does make sense to look at your situation when you do all these things. But generally, most of the time I noticed that the fear was very irrational and that it had nothing to do with me or my capabilities, and that it was more that I was afraid of rejection and afraid of being judged by other people. And that in that moment, the shifting from that to actually being like, okay, I do this for myself and I prove myself that I can do this, was an important shift to being more self-sufficient. And then another thing is to actually look at all the relationships you have in your life, and there can be family relationships, it can be a romantic relationship, and friendships, and to really be honest with yourself and take stock whether you feel like these are healthy friendships, relationships, or whether you feel like you're addicted. And if you feel like, for example, I can't live without that person, and you generally feel like that, if you generally feel like, oh my God, I can't live without them, or my happiness is dependent on what this person says or does, then you're definitely at a point where you're not self-sufficient. And I would strongly encourage you to work on yourself and your independence first before you work on these relationships. But if I am when I was in relationships like that, and I noticed that I got to the point where I was completely dependent, I actually tried to move away from that and to just first focus on myself. And that does not mean to stop talking to the people, but sometimes I would just be like, okay, I just need some more time for myself, or I would prioritize doing things that make me feel good over seeing these specific people, and I would learn to be self-sufficient by that. Well, what did I say in this video? So first of all, being self-sufficient is very important because it comes along with confidence and self-esteem. You can be dependent on other people and addicted even to other people, and that's totally fine. And if you want to live that way, and if you want to be more self-sufficient, you can change that by first taking notes of where you are right now, just taking stock, not judging, just being like, okay, there I can be more independent, there I can be more strong and more myself and more self-sufficient. And then to start distancing yourself from the dependence, not necessarily from that person, but from the dependence, and to start focusing on yourself and to practice your own self-worth by making sure that you can rely on your own words. Because if you can't trust yourself, how can anybody else trust you, right? So if you have any other tips and tricks that you use or used in the past to increase your self-sufficiency, share that in the comment box below, and generally feel free to like, comment, and please subscribe to my channel if you like this video. I see you in the next video, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye bye.